Good morning and welcome back to the coffee hour tennis update from Down Under on the Slice Tennis in the Sports Interaction studio, bright and early here, actually dark and early in North America, giving you the updates on the Australian Open that you need as you start your day. So welcome back. Thanks for being here. If you're watching live, leave your comments and I'll get to them by the end of the stream. But I get it. Most people aren't awake yet. So I can't blame you, but we're going to recap what happened yesterday on day 5 at the Australian Open. There was some drama. Everyone loves a bit of drama. Naomi Osaka, Sonia, I think it's Cristea. Now I can't remember her first name, but there was an awkward handshake there because Cristea, because Naomi Osaka was doing a few come-ons and fist pumps between serves of Cristea, and she didn't like that. So I'm going to break that down. And we're going to talk about Djokovic winning smoothly again, looking great. How far can he take it? We're going to look at all the results and break down the schedule for day 6. Does that sound good? Sounds good to me. Here is the clip of what happened with Osaka and Cristea. There we go. So I'll play it again. So you can hear it faintly, but it is Osaka saying, come on, after Cristea misses the first serve. And I kind of like how Cristea is like, goes, this is okay to say, come on, between points. And unfortunately for her, it is okay. It's not hindrance because there's not a point going on. Is it unsportsmanlike? Yeah, I would say so. Is it weird? Yeah, I would say so. It's kind of insane to me to be audibly saying, come on, there's, whenever I'm playing a match and the guy misses his first serve, I'm like, in my head, I'm stoked. But literally fist pumping, saying, come on, and slapping your leg seems a lot to me. And if I was Cristea, like, there's multiple things going on here. Osaka's allowed to do whatever she wants. That's not breaking the rules. Cristea is allowed to be, and I think valid in being annoyed by that. But also Cristea is like, if you get annoyed by that, Osaka's in your head. So she shouldn't let her get in her head, and then she lost the match and does the icy handshake. But, so I don't blame her for the icy handshake, I don't think, because doing that type of stuff is deserved of not being like super friendly after the match. But she got in her head, and I think that's pretty crazy tactics to me. I don't even, she would say it wasn't a tactic. I'm just trying to pump myself up. Yeah, it's like a not very legit way to pump yourself up, I don't think, or not very sportsman-like way to pump yourself up. But she did it, and she got the win, and that's Osaka doing her thing. So she is through. That's what happened, and what I'm going to do is now put up the results from day 5. There we are. Rod Laver Arena. Who won? Who didn't? It's on the screen now. Jessica Pegula crushes Kessler 6-0, 6-2 in 58 minutes. Big move for the American. Big win for the American. Djokovic beats the Maestrelli, in 2 hours and 15 minutes, 6-3, 6-2, 6-2. Yannick Sinner wins 6-1, 6-4, 6-2 over Duckworth. That's not surprising at all. Rybakina beats Gracheva 7-5, 6-2 in an hour and 15 minutes. So really no great matches on Rod Laver on day 5. Rybakina, Gracheva was a little bit closer, but most were fairly straightforward 3-set wins. Pretty much the same on Margaret Court. Musetti dominates Sonego, and Isamova dominates Siniakova. Then Osaka and Cristea had a good match, 2 hours, 3 sets with the icy handshake. That's entertainment value there for sure. And then Casper Ruud beats Kwame Munar in what looks like actually a fairly close 3-set match. Straight sets win. But there was a lot of rain. That's what I should have said from the top, is there was a lot of rain in Melbourne yesterday, which is why a lot of the matches did not complete. So there's not that many matches that finished or even started. So they'll be on the schedule for today, and there'll be a lot of tennis going on today. John Cain Arena, Keys beats Kruger in 2. Shelton beats Sweeney easily in 3. Swiatek beats Bukova in 2 fairly standardly. And Fritz comes through Capriva in 3. So not really any upsets today or yeah. And there was a lot of straight, I would say a lot of straightforward wins. Vachereau 3 through in 4. Noskova through in 3. But here's a great match. Stan Wawrinka threw over a qualifier, Gaia, in 5 sets, winning the last 2 7-5, 7-6. That looks like an incredible effort from Stan the man. 4.5 hours. Wow. And the win predictor had Gaia for most of the match. And then Stanislas Wawrinka pulls it out and does it in a tiebreaker. That's pretty amazing. Let's look at the stats here. Gaia was serving well, 73% win on first serve, but Stan Wawrinka was able to win 61% of his second serve. So he's winning the second serve battle. 63 winners for Stan, 69 unforced errors. That's a big effort from Stan. Wow. 5-setter. That's got to be the match of day 5. Stan the man doing it. That's crazy. We'll see when we look at the draw again who he plays next. Look at this. Kokkinakis and Kyrgios out in round 1 at the Australian Open in doubles to Kubler and Polmans, two other Australians. So maybe they should have played singles. Okay, some of the matches, all these matches did finish. When I was looking at it earlier, I didn't see them all finish. Okay, we do have more results than I thought. That's very confusing. Okay. Badoza loses in 2 sets. Hurkacz loses to Ethan Quinn in 3 sets, which is a tough loss for Hurkacz. Mertens beats Uchijima. Denis Shapovalov, Canadian, loses in straight sets in 2 hours and 9 minutes to Cilic in the second round, which is a tough result for him as a 21st seed. Cilic is a great player, obviously. So it's not, it makes sense. Cilic is at a much higher level in his career than Shapovalov has gotten to in that way, but that's, I'm assuming, a painful loss for friend of the show, Denis Shapovalov. Second round. Khachanov beats Bazavarati in 3 sets straight. Inglis beats Sigmund. The qualifier, Matty Inglis through. That's big time into the 3rd round. Wow. Thomas Mahach beats Tsitsipas in 4. The pain continues for Tsitsipas. It doesn't get easier for him. Loses in 2 tiebreakers to lose the match. Bencic out, top 10 seed. Bencic out on ANZ Arena to Bartunkova. Wow. Darderi over Baez. Wang over Ostapenko is out. Botic Van de Zandschulp through. Pliskova through. Valentova through. Very interesting. And then we get through down to the doubles, which unfortunately we don't have the time to cover. Let's go to day 6. Day 6 schedule. Rod Laver Arena. If you're watching now and you'd like to put in a comment, there's only a couple of you live. I will get to them at the end of the show. What's the menu? Sabalenka first up on Rod Laver Arena to play Potapova. Alcaraz versus Mute. Juicy matchup there. Tiafoe versus Demonauer. That's a great match. Wow. Night session kickoff. Demonauer, Tiafoe. And then you got Andreeva Rus to finish it off. On Margaret Court Arena, you got Medvedev versus Marozsan, Coco Gauff versus Baptiste, Svitolina versus Schneider, and then Bublik versus Echeverry. On John Cain Arena, you've got an amazing matchup between Vicky and Boko and Clara Tauson. I'll be watching that. Tommy Paul follows that up with Davidovich Fokina. That's a great match, tough match. Jovic versus Paolini and Zverev versus Cam Norrie. That's a nice match too. Then on Key Arena, Lerner Tien versus Nino Borges and Sonmez versus Punseva, Muchova versus Lynette, and Sarundalo versus Rublev. That is our menu for singles matches on day 5. Already starting to be a lot less. Those are third round matches, by the way. So let's just look at the draw, because I'm wondering now, like, is the entire third round set? Yes, it is. The entire third round is set. So let's go through the third round. This is a third round preview. On the top, we've got Alcaraz versus Mute, which is 2 seeds playing each other. Alcaraz's first seed that he will play. Tommy Paul versus Davidovich Fekina. We already looked through these matches. Bublik Echeverry, Tiafo Demonauer, Zverev Nori, Sarundalo Rublev. Medvedev Marozsan and Lerner Tien versus Nuno Borges. And then we've got Musetti versus Mahac. Wawrinka versus Fritz. Big time. Again, great match. Mensik versus Ethan Quinn to play the winner of Botic van de Janskop and Djokovic. Shelton versus Vachereau. Cilic versus Rude. And Khachanov versus Darderi. And then Spitziri, who's through to the third round, versus Jannik Sinner. That's a nice third round at the Australian Open on the men's. That's just a nice third round. Let's go to the women's. We've got Sabalenka versus Potapova, Mboko versus Towson, like we said. Sonmez, Putintseva, Jovic, Paulini, Coco Gauff, Haley Baptiste, Mukova, Lynette, Svitolina, Schneider, Rus, and Driva. Those will all happen today. And then we've got tomorrow, Pegula Selekmetova, who beat Badoza. Pliskova versus Keys. We've got Noskova versus Wang. We've got Peyton Sturz versus Anisimova, All-American matchup. Rybakina versus Valentova. Mertens versus Bartunkova. Osaka versus Maddie Inglis, Australian. That is mouth-watering. That could get territorial. I'll just say that. Maddie English will be the home favorite. Osaka, a lot of people love her. Obviously, it's the Grand Slam of Asia Pacific, and she's Japanese. So we'll see which side the crowd gets on, if they'll support the hometown Aussie. We'll see. Kalinskaya versus Sabalenka to end out the third round on the women's side of things there. So very nice third round. That's it. That's the look at the draw. That's a look at the results from last night. The tennis today is going to be quite good. There's some great matchups. The tournament, I think it'll start to heat up. We'll have better matchups, better matches. Typically it happens around the third or fourth round. This year at the Australian Open, I think it's starting in the third round. Djokovic through. He looks solid. He looks fit. Like, literally, he looks the same as he did 5, 7, 8 years ago on court to me. As far as physicality, you can see where he's not the same as he used to be when he plays the top players, but he's not playing the top players yet. And he's cruising. So good for Djokovic and his fans. We will see Alcaraz in action today, as well as tons of other players. So there's a preview of the third round and a breakdown of the Osaka Cristea drama, which you got to love a little drama. I'm on Cristea's side. That's super annoying for someone to be doing, but you're allowed to do it. So that's what it is. Whatever you got to do to win the match is what flies, I guess. And Osaka through to the third round. We'll see you next time here on The Slice. There's your coffee update in the morning. Have a great day at work.